Hello everyone and welcome to Rob's Rogues, and today we are taking a look at Future Batman from the Legends of Batman series, and this is from Kenner. As most of the reviews on this channel, and for quite some time now, anytime that most people have been reviewing a Batman action figure, usually come from one of two places. They either come from Mattel or they come from DC Direct. This is back in the days of Kenner supplying us with our action figures. And I have changed my table up here a little bit. I have my Dark Knight Rises t-shirt, glow in the dark, which you won't be able to see on a nice bright sunny day here. But thought we would go back in time a little bit to the year 1994 and take a look at this older figure. This whole week, if you haven't seen the little promo video I did right before this, in honor of The Dark Knight Rises coming out this Friday, which I am so excited for, as many of us Batman fans are, I thought, well, since I've already reviewed the Dark Knight Rises figures up to this point, why don't we go back and we'll dig in my toy box, if you will, and we'll go back and take a look at some of the other Batman, Bane, and Catwoman figures, since those will be the three prominent figures or characters in the movie. And we'll take a look at some of their action figures from the past toys or action figures or collectibles from a while back. These figures came, like I said, from 1994, and this was the first figure in the wave. And this was right around the time that I stopped buying these offshoot figures. I always refer to this as my wintergreen fresh Batman. That I really started thinking, you know what, Batman has never ever worn anything like this. Even though it's a future Batman, there has never been a future Batman anything. Oh, but wait, there has. This was in 1994. Batman Beyond came out in 1999, and I don't have a Batman Beyond action figure of any type. I wasn't really a fan of the show at all, so it wasn't something I collected, because I'm more of one of those people that I want my traditional Batman is Bruce Wayne. He's approximately 32 to 35 years old, and that's just how he is, and he looks a certain way. Although, like I said, back in 99, I was collecting, or 99, excuse me, in 94, I was collecting a lot of Batman, different variation Batman figures, because I thought the accessories that they came with were pretty cool, and I was still at that young age, like, hey, they slapped a Batman name on something, I'm going to buy it. And I have a whole assortment of Batman the Animated Series, which I want to do a series of reviews of nothing but the animated series toy line, that, you know, out of all the figures, I bet I have 15 to 20 different Batmans that are green, blue, yellow, orange, red, all that type of stuff. So once I got a little older and I started realizing this isn't a show-accurate Batman or a comic-accurate Batman, I really stopped buying all the different variations and flavors of Batman. But I did like this, you know, kind of in my younger teen-age years where I wasn't playing with my action figures a whole lot there. I started putting them on the shelves. At the time, you couldn't make believe, okay, maybe Batman was going into outer space, and this may be a spacesuit Batman was wearing. So, the cool thing with the line, you got these playing cards. I may have to turn the light off on the camera for this, but these were not really playing cards, like baseball cards, if you will, and each of the figures from this line came with a card that had a description about it, and I haven't read this card probably since the day I bought this. I have a sleeve, like a baseball card album that has all my Batman cards in it. So I really haven't read this description, so we'll read, since I don't have the box anymore, since it was, you know, 94, I may put a link down below. I googled some of the box art so you can see what they look like in the package, or I might include it in the video somehow. I'm not exactly sure yet how I'm going to do this, but by the time you are watching this video, you'll find out. So, may have to turn the light off to read the card here. It may not totally focus for you. I hope that it will. There we go. The Legends of Batman have always excited and always will throughout history and into the distant future. Inspired by DC Comics, the Legends of Batman action figure collection action collection figures features it's really hard to read this in the small camera, the dark superhero as he's never been seen before, stronger and more muscular, battling crime throughout time. Future Batman's read up here. The battle against evil has continued into Gotham City of tomorrow, when Batman fights against evil with renewed dedication to his crime-fighting mission. Criminals have developed new deadly weapons, but they're no match for Batman. His newest suit features armored cowl and a mask and pop-up wings that can fly into any situations with laser blaster. Villains of the future, beware. As you can see, Skybox was a popular baseball card company at the time that they did these cards. And as you can see, Kenner distribution in 1994. Those of you Batman aficionados know that 94 was the summer before Batman Forever. So Kenner, preparing to release the Batman Forever action figures the summer before, came out with a Batman product to kind of tide us over. And we got Future Batman here. So we'll take a look at Future Batman as I have him on a DCUC stand with this pack. It's really kind of back heavy. He wants to flop over. So that was something they came up with, these neat little gadgets for the Batman figures, and some of them, as you could tell, to give you a size comparison, since we were talking about Batman the Animated Series, there's the comparison of the size of the figures that we have. Of course, you could bring a DCUC, actually DC Superheroes Batman, for kind of size and scale comparison to see how big these are. A little bit bigger than the standard, like 4-inch. We're kind of in the 5-inch figure range, maybe 4.5. And of course, you get up to the 6-inch from the DCUC and the DC Superheroes there. So, this was the first figure that I bought from the line, and we'll kind of get into some of the other figures maybe at a later time. We got a lot of different variations. I'll be reviewing a Catwoman from this line, which I think is actually pretty cool. There was a Nightwing and a Batman, a standard Batman. Those are the three standards that you, excuse me, there was also a Riddler and a Joker as standard lookings, and everything else was like swashbuckling, cyborg Batman. There was a Crusader Robin. There was a Crusader Batman that was the normal looking Batman, but the Crusader Robin was a swashbuckling pirate Robin. Did I buy it? Of course it was Robin and I bought it. So this is a little jetpack that goes over the top of Batman's head here, so you could have him out, and he does stand a lot better without the pack. And this is something I always tried to put on other Batman figures. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. The animated series did work, so some of those figures, when I was still kind of playing with them, I thought, you know what? I don't have to have it on the Future Batman, I can have it on this Batman. Take that off real quick. But the gimmick for this figure was the wings. Wings still very much work. So that was a kind of a cool, neat little gimmick there. It does come with a gun. Most of the guns or missile launchers did fire, but this is basically just a hollowed out piece with a little peg for the hand there. So nothing really fired out of this particular weapon, as they went with the gimmick for these wings. So like again, a nice little feature. But then again, as I got older and I started really collecting action figures, I started realizing, you know what, there isn't ever going to be a Future Batman at any given time, at any given point. And little did I know back in 1994 that in '99 we were going to get an animated Batman Beyond. That's, surprisingly, if we look at the face sculpt here, is not that too far off from what it was in the comics, or in the comics and in the cartoon series. So maybe Kenner had a little forethought, and knowing that not too long we would be getting a an animated feature. Of course, in '94, the Batman animated series was going on, and in the following summer, we had Batman Forever. So these are some of the products that Kenner came out with that they were like, hey, we're going to try and do this. Some of them sold, some of them not. Of course, this guy right here did buy the whole entire first wave of figures, and going through some of the figures for this review series, I would look at the figures and go, why on God's green earth did I buy this figure? I was even showing some of them to my wife last night, and she was kind of laughing at the figures, and she's like, was this in a comics somewhere? I'm like, no, was never in a comic, was never nothing. It was just in Kenner's mind to come up with a new idea. And this guy right here fell for the idea. It's a neat looking figure. Is he anywhere on my shelf? Up to this point, no, he's been in a box with a bunch of the other accessories. Maybe at some point when I have a nice big area to display all of them in, maybe I'll get all of my Batman and Robin and Joker figures up somewhere. But for the time being, after this review, he's going to go right back in the box that he came in. So this is the first time he's really seen the light of day since probably, I don't know, 96, 97. As I did have some of these on the shelves, that once I started getting up different action figures, some of these oddball figures went into a shelf somewhere. So that's going to do it for today's review. Today we've been looking at future Batman from the Legends of Batman from Kenner, back in the days when Kenner gave us very good action figures. So as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues, signing off and saying we will see you guys next time.